Hello, everyone, and welcome back for the final Kobolds and Catacombs review video from us. Alright, homestretch time. Let's kick things off with Healing Rain. 3-cost Shaman spell. Restore 12 health divided randomly among all friendly characters. I'm gonna be the guy that says it. This gets put in the very good / meta-defining area. Shaman being able to just go and I heal 12. With, stats as well as self-health. Just, boom. You're gonna use it, you're gonna have it. There's no drawbacks to playing this. Other than if you've got, a board of something and it's got damage on it. Oh no, I heal the rest of that crap. Meta-definer. Ball.
Healing rain, it's falling down. It's going to be a very good card. In Shaman decks, you know they'll play and heal the minions with Healing Rain. That worked out better than I thought it would, to be fair. I was making it up near the end.
I noticed you were on your feet with it, so it's just like... you can't see it, but I'm making a circular motion as I play.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be played probably in most, if not all, Shaman decks. So, yeah, I think this is a meta-defining card. Next up, we have Hooked Reaver, which is a 4-cost 4/4 Warlock Demon with the battle cry, if you have 15 or less health, gain +3/+3 and taunt. The battle cry is actually very solid. It's actually very easy for Warlock to get to about 15 health or less. So definitely Warlock is definitely going to get to a point where they can play this as a 4-cost 7/7 taunt. The only issue I can see with this card is that when you play Gul'dan, it brings this card back. Will bring it back as a 4/4 and not a 7/7 taunt. That's the only issue I see, and really, it's not that big a deal. I do think this card is going to see play. I don't think that the downside battle cry is that big a deal because Warlock's going to get there anyway very easily. So this is just going to be a very powerful demon when it comes out. It'll be okay when it comes back with Gul'dan, but yeah, I think this is going to be seeing play in a lot, if not most, Warlock decks.
I'm calling it now. I'm calling it a meta-definer. Getting to 15 health with Warlock, like you said, is easy. And if anything, with the Lesser Amethyst Spellstone to be able to heal yourself back up, as well as Gul'dan to be able to play it towards the late game. This thing is disgusting.
Can I also say that it's about time that Warlock's getting really, really good demons and not demons that they're good, but they have this drawback that just punches you in the gut 3 times where you might not want to play them. Isn't it nice for Warlock just to get solid demons? I mean, that's nice.
It is. It really is.
It's about time.
Yeah. So next up we've got the Kobold Monk. 4-cost 3/6. Your hero can't be targeted by spells or hero powers. Wait, what? Just what? I can't, okay, firstly, I can wrap my head around the card. I can see, why you would run it. You would run this to potentially counteract Rozakis. So it's just okay, in that sense, bing! This thing can be really good and sustainable. But at the same time, I'm just going, what? Bulb Can you give me something else to kind of pinball with here?
Okay, so my thoughts were, what if you take Kobold Monk, and in Mage, you put a wee spell stopper next to him, or in any other any deck you play anti-magic shell when he's on the field. Now the monk can't be affected by spells or hero powers. You can't be affected by spells or hero powers. You look at Rizaka's Priest and just wave. You can't do anything.
Or, depending on when you make sure you play Kobold Monk and the Anti-Magic Shell. You want to make sure that he's already played his Anduin, so that way you can go, alright, now I'll do this.
Oh yeah, I was talking about when Anduin was out. Basically, where he's just trying to go, I can't ping. I can't ping anything! What the crap? That's the only thing I'm good for! To be fair, like, I mean, it's nutty. It's a really cool idea. Does it see play? Probably not. But it's a cool idea. Just, that doesn't mean anything in the long run. I really thought there was a minion that just could give the effect can't be targeted by spells or hero powers, but I guess not. But, yeah. Unfortunately, the Mindbreaker from the last set really didn't see play, so I don't think Kobold Monk is going to see play either. As interesting and potentially useful as it could be, I just don't think it has that wide of a range of a use to be useful in the meta.
Price is right, fail horn.
Next up, we have Scorp-o-matic, which is or as I like to call it, the Doomsayer killer. It's a 2-cost 1/2 mech with a battle cry, destroy a minion with 1 or less attack. The end is coming! Boop, nope. I mean, it's an interesting tech card, I guess, but besides getting rid of like Doomsayer or maybe if you just want to outright kill Northshire Cleric or whatever Meat Wagon brings out. I mean, this is a tech card I just don't think has that great of a wide range of use, because most of the times you would just say, I'm going to wait until I just can outright kill some of these smaller things anyway, or I'll just wait the Doomsayer out. So it's a tech card I really can't say a use for, so I don't think it's really going to see that much play.
I disagree. I can see this being comboed in Paladin, because you go Outdoor Peacekeeper, that thing dies. There's also a lot of 1-attack minions that are actively out in the field of this game that you can just go, Northshire Cleric, Acolyte, Armor Smith, freaking, like, Voidwalker, Flametongue Totem. Yes, Doomsayer is another one of those things that's out there. So it's just blip. You have a lot of stuff that you can just look at it and just go, I need that dead. Not just Doomsayer, but other things that do have 1 attack.
And my point that I made for those other things was, or you can just wait a turn, or you probably already have the removal. Boop. They're very easy removal targets that most removal spells get rid of, unless mostly you might have the board control to get rid of already. Yeah, there's the Aldor Peacekeeper possibility, but then again, Paladin has a lot of control options anyway, and is it really worth it to try to combo this with Outdoor Peacekeeper when you can just maybe try to combo, I don't know, an Equality with a Consecration or another AoE to get rid of the big thing? I don't think it's that worth it. Paladin has so many ways to pull off much better combos that Scorp-o-matic with Outdoor Peacekeeper is, you just look at it going, really? We're going that direction? I don't think Paladin does it. And I don't think there's enough for any of these other 1 or 0 attack minions to really warrant this being there to remove those minions via this tech card when you can remove those via so many other ways. I mean, some people might put it in there, but when you have your choice of tech cards, are you really going to go, I can have weapon removal, I can have this thing that kills this weapon removal that I can put this tech that kills big things. I can put in this tech that kills these problematic aggro minions, whether it's Murlocs or pirates, or I can take Scorp-o-matic. No, it's not going to see play.
I think you're wrong. I think it does see play. Heck, I'll put my flag in the ground and put it as a very good card that actually does come out and comes out of left field for you.
I would be shocked. I mean, I could see maybe at like an aggro deck, maybe putting Scorp-o-matic in to take care of Doomsayer because they don't want to lose their board. But the Paladin combo, I think, is, given that Paladin has so many really good combos that they want to control the board anyway, Scorp-o-matic is just really. And again, you have better removal options for any of these other minions instead of putting a 1/2 mech that doesn't even get buffed when it kills this thing. It kills the 0/1 attack minion.
Yes, but you're also looking at it from the ideal of I can use a spell to be able to yes, in Priest I can go Shadow Word Death or Shadow Word Pain, not Death. Shadow Word Pain that. Well, there goes one of my Shadow Word Pains that my opponent's been counting and keeping in track of in their head. Scorp-o-matic just comes out and just goes, wait, son of a... I got rid of it. Alright, fine. Fine.
Are you that threatened with 0 and 1 attack minions that you include Scorp-o-matic as a tech card? Again, tech cards are basically detecting against things that are giving you problems. For pirates, you have Glockacrawler. For Murlocs, you have Hungry Crab. By the way, that doesn't see play.
It did in Ungoro. It did in Ungoro.
It did for a little while, but it's been a card that rarely sees play. And, it actually it's a 1/2 that actually gets buffed. For weapon removal, you have so many, from Oozes to Harrison Jones to Bloodsail Corsair. If you want to get rid of, let's see, what was the other thing that I said? Oh yeah, you want to get rid of dragons, we have the ones that we just talked about earlier in the last video. If you want to get rid of a big thing, you have Big Game Hunter. I mean, the list goes on and on and on. And then you have Scorp-o-matic. If you are putting tech cards in your deck, and you put Scorp-o-matic in your deck instead of one of those other tech cards, I don't know what you're afraid of, but you probably deserve to lose.
I plant my flag in the ground and stand by where I stand, my good sir.
You go plant your flag in the ground play Scorp-o-matic along with Gemstead Golem, and they get ran over. I will laugh. If this is a horrible tech card.
I'm gonna laugh if you end up wrong.
If somebody feels so threatened by my 0 and 1 attack minion that they are going to kill it with a 1/2 Scorp-o-matic, number one, that tells me that they don't have very many tech cards, which means I can just railroad them with all my other stuff. Or they fill their deck so much with tech cards that their deck is diluted, which means I'll just run them over. Scorp-o-matic pretty much signals to your opponent that, hey, this deck is weak. Go in for the kill. Unless, again, you're aggro, in which case you might think about it just to get rid of the Doomsayer. If you're not aggro, and you include Scorp-o-matic, you basically lost the game when you built the deck. Because you either misunderstood and thought you were going to be challenged by 0/1 attack minions, which, okay, have fun with that. Or, and didn't include actually good tech cards that you will actually need to basically survive on ladder. Or you filled your deck with so many tech cards, like I said, that your deck is so diluted, you will not be able to get to your endgame. In fact, you probably don't even have an endgame because you just threw tech cards in the deck. You called it tech card, the deck, and you lost. Good day, sir. Bye-bye. Scorp-o-matic is pretty much one of the worst tech cards I've seen. You can do some wild combos with it if you really want, but in the end, given your other options, is it really worth it? No, it's not. Bye.
Oh man, you got fired up on that one, if anything, I give you that. But I'm gonna see where this falls.
I think it'll be falling to where you'll start crying, "Why did I craft Scorp-o-matic?"
We're gonna move on to Sewer Crawler before Bulb's brain explodes.
I even thought about, well, what about Murloc? Well, no, most Murlocs are like 2 attack, so it wouldn't even help against Murlocs. I mean, that's how bad. That's why I looked at this and going, nope.
So before his brain explodes any further, let's go to Sewer Crawler. 3 cost, 1/1 battle cry. Summon a 2/3 giant rat. Arena card. Not a ladder card. Bulb, go.
This card is not good. It gets killed by Scorp-o-matic. Boom. I can spew nonsense too.
Hey, it's not nonsense. I'm just saying.
Next up, we have Shifting Scroll, which is a mage spell that says each turn this is in your hand, transform it into a random mage spell. It's Shifter Xeris, the spell. And I actually kind of like it. Man, I think this is the part of my brain going, randomonium. You never know what you're going to get. I mean, it's not going to help you if you're trying to spell joust, or if you need to basically pull out and compare the spell cost. But the fact of the matter is that you can just put it in your hand, and you just hold it in your hand, and it just shifts. And then if it's the perfect answer, you can just play it. I mean, that's actually pretty good. It's not random where you play the spell and you don't know what you're going to get. You basically just hold it until you have the perfect answer on that turn, and then just play it. It probably won't see that much play because Shifter Xeris really didn't see a lot of play, but I do think that it's a really interesting, if not a decent, mage spell, because I do think that versatility is actually very useful, and I do think it will see. I do think I at least will play it, even though I don't think most of the Hearthstone community will play it. Even though I do think that the randomness and the way it has the Shifter Xeris-like effect would actually be good enough for for actual mage decks.
I see this more as something that people will go, alright, Arena, let me just grab this. Because it just gives me a random spell. Each turn it's like, okay, do I play it now? No. Can I play it now? No. Yeah. As far as constructed goes, maybe. I say maybe because it's just like, does it... I need to look at it just real quick because my brain is going, hey, quest. And I'm just like, no, that doesn't do that.
It's a random mage spell, it should.
It should. So it's just like itchy. And it's just like, If anything, this one I can see as playable for some people. Not my mage spell that I would be playing.
Not in my mage deck.
Nope. I go to Shrieking Shroom. 3 cost, 1/2 at the end of your turn. Summon a random 1 cost minion. It's adorable. And it also gives you a 1 cost minion on your side of the board. So hey, look, token generation. Bob?
That's interesting. I mean, there are some decent 1 cost minions, but a lot of the 1 cost minions are kind of meh. I mean, if you're going for a token type deck, which you can try to buff up, potentially evolve them or something, maybe you put in Shrieking Shroom. I'm just not sure if you do. It'd be interesting to see if anybody actually builds a deck that includes this. I can see potentially like the token decks maybe giving a try, maybe Evolve Shaman, but I also think that there are much better options. Also, it dies to Scorp-o-matic, so it's not good. Next up, we have Shroom Brewer, which is a 4-cost 4/4 with Battle Cry. Restore 4 health. Actually, that's pretty solid. If people need neutral heals, this might see play, but otherwise, I think it's going to be... You're going to see it here and there. I don't think it's going to be widely played. I really don't.
4-cost 4/4? On top of the 3-cost 3/3 heal 3? Not maybe anything. I give the Shroom Brewer that. It's pretty nifty.
Like, Rogue might play it, but I don't say it being played a lot.
I see it being more or less of an arena card.
Oh, absolutely.
Like, no doubt about that. Next up, we have Sneaky Devil. 4-cost 2/2 Demon. Stealth. Your other minions have +1 attack. Ooh. If anything, I like it. Because it's just, I don't have to swing with this thing. I can just let it lay dormant. It makes it hard for my opponent to be able to actively hit that thing, bar AoE spells. If I can somehow give it just a little bit of a buff, makes it where it's almost unkillable. So I think it does see play in some aggro decks.
Yeah, I think it definitely sees some play, like in the zoo decks, because giving the +1 attack, you can just let it hide. You're right. The problem is that pretty much most AoE kills it. But I think that it will be worth it for decks like Zoo or Token Druid to maybe consider running this, just to buff up all their minions by 1 attack and just do more damage. So I do think this will be seeing some play. Next up, we have Stoneskin Basilisk. It's a 3-cost 1/1 beast with Divine Shield and Poisonous. Okay. I mean, that's a thing, I guess. I mean, you pretty much use this to kill 2 things. But again, I think with the low stat line, even with Divine Shield, I'm not sure this is worth it for 3. Especially when you have, I think, better 3-cost minions with Poisonous. Yeah, they probably die once, but if they don't, they can kill multiple things, and they have a decent attack. This is pretty much just to use Poisonous against bigger minions. And would you rather have this, or just have better removal, or just contest them on board? I don't think a lot of people are going to be playing this one.
Depending on what selection you may have in front of you in Arena, you could potentially pick this one up.
Yeah, but I'm not including it.
Yeah, I know. I'm mainly just making at least the point of like, hey, you could do it with Arena if you wanted to. But as far as that goes, just cast aside. Toothy Chest. 3-cost 0/4. At the start of your turn, set this minion's attack to 4. This one's a clever one. I give them that. Because it's on your turn that it has the 4 attack. And then on your opponent's turn, it has 0. So it's like, my opponent can go, well, I either take 4 damage to my face on his turn, or I can just kill it now and just, not have to worry about it. So, in all honesty, I just go, Boo.
Validated Doomsayer did not see play. This will not see play. Also, it dies to Scorp-o-matic. Won't see play. I will make this a meme.
I know you're going to make it a meme, and I'm going to laugh when that meme blow up in your face.
Next we have Trogg Gloomeater, which is a 5-cost 1/5 minion with Taunt and Poisonous. All right. The stat line's not great. Does it see play maybe because of the poisonous moniker or effect? Maybe. But I think that, to be fair, I think that's quite a stretch because there are a lot of decent 5-cost minions, especially in certain classes. Or 5-cost minions with taunt. I think it gets picked in Arena, definitely. I don't think it sees much play in Standard at all. Just because that slot is just so heavily contested.
I shrug and I go potentially taunt Druid. That's about the only place I could potentially see this going. I really do. I get to move on to Violet Wurm. 8 cost 7/7. Death Rattle. Summons 7 1/1 grubs. Okay. If I'm a late game super heavy token deck, sure, why not? But Arena. Well,
I mean, maybe a late game hunter uses this because they can just keep board control and they'll be beasts, but at the same time they don't really use a lot of their higher cost beast minions. So I really don't see Hunter playing this, and if it's not Hunter, I really don't see a lot of people playing it in pretty much any class. It will definitely be a pick in Arena, but outside of that, I don't think it's a constructed play. Finally, we have Wax Elemental, which is a 1-cost 0/2 Elemental with Taunt and Divine Shield. Well, this is no Annoyotron. Having no attack is a pretty big deal. And yes, I know it can't have attack because then it would be a better Annoyotron, and they don't want that. So it ends up being the 0/2 Taunt with Divine Shield, and really that just sucks. I run a Divine Shield deck that has a lot of Taunt in it. It says Taunt Divine Shield, and I'm not even interested in running this. So I don't think it's really going to see play, even in Elemental decks.
Nope. Just nope. It's a 1-cost target dummy. Bar the Divine Shield. Woo! Just woo! That's the cards, if anything.
Yep. We do have a little bit of time if we just kind of want to discuss some stuff about the set. For example, let's just, given what we talked about last time we did a card expansion review, which class do you think got the shaft in this expansion?
Hunter. Just Hunter. You don't even have to ask me that question.
Yeah.
Finish that sentence. Hunter got the hard dicking.
That is, I can't really disagree with you. They got the shaft hard. I mean, it was so bad for them, and everybody else got some incredible things. Even if they had a bad card here and there, net-wise, they got some really good stuff, and Hunter just bleh. I think it's probably better than to ask which class made out, which class got the best stuff.
I'm gonna let you go first on that one.
I'm going to look back over it because I have a feeling what I want to say, but like I said, I think there are a lot of good cards in this set.
Like, there's some good individual cards that stick out.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. Each class have them.
Yeah. Overall, I'm going to say I think Mage made out the best in the set. Mage has so many good cards, I think, in the set. Several of them are going to be meta-defining. Arcane Artificer, Raven Familiar, Explosive Runes, Lesser Ruby Spellstone. I think Deck of Wonders will probably be meta-defining. I think Deck of Wonders will be played. I think Shifting Scroll will probably end up being played. Leyline Manipulator we'll see, but I do think that will see play. Granted, Alana, I'm not sure, but I do think there's potential there. She's not going to be everywhere, but I don't think she's bad as Legendary goes. I've already given my thoughts on Aluneth. It's pretty much a contentious card for us. I mean, that means that really the only bad card, I think, is Dragon's Fury.
Let me make sure I put that correction in there. For you, it's contentious. I've already put it in my meta-defining slot.
Well, basically, I would say contentious between us.
Yeah.
Basically, you say it's meta-defining, I say it's trash. But, yeah, I think for me, I think Mage made out the best in this set. They just have so many good things, several of which are going to be meta-defining. I think that Mage is going to be incredibly strong.
You know, I'm going to come out of left field on this one. I'm going to vote Rogue. I think with Kingsbane, Feldori Strider, there are 3 secrets. Those are some really powerful cards. Given also the Elven Minstrel to be able to just pull yourself 2 minions out of your deck. And if you really want to build that Death Rattle deck for the Lesser Onyx Spellstone, got some really nice stuff. And of course, Sonya Shadow Dancer. Like, I cannot forget Sonya Shadow Dancer. Like, if anything, this is kind of making me want to play Rogue more with some of the stuff that they have. But I'm more than likely going to be in Wild playing, not only this set, I would say, but more or less, Wild or Rogue.
Yeah, I can see your point here. It was a really hard decision because I think besides Hunter, most of the classes got a lot of really good things. It's very hard to just say this class made out the best. And Rogue got a lot of good things. Rogue was actually on my list. Do I go this? Do I go this? I do think Rogue got a lot of good stuff in this expansion. I think there are a lot of good things in this expansion. I mean, if we're going to go final thoughts on this expansion, after the madness of Knights of the Frozen Throne, this expansion does bring back an element of fun, I think, to Hearthstone. It's a very fun expansion type. It has a lot of really weird and crazy effects that really make you judge or reevaluate how you build your deck. And even though I don't think there's going to be a lot of cards that actually make the cut, I think that there are enough good cards to pretty much push deck building, to pretty much open up deck building as far as closing out the year of the Mammoth on good terms as far as maybe a diverse meta. A lot of potential for some really fun decks, and I'm actually kind of excited for it. Do I think this is probably the best expansion of the year? No, I think Ngoro kind of won that. But I do think that this is a very fun type of expansion. It kind of scratches that fun itch that I think that Knights was missing, and I can't wait to play this. On the topic of Recruit, I've been very harsh on Recruit cards this expansion. I've actually been kind of reevaluating how I feel about Recruit, the Recruit mechanic in general, and the cards. In general, my gut feeling are that the Recruit cards are just way overcost, are way overcosted for the effect. I think that Blizzard looked at the Recruit mechanic and they introduced it, and then just made it wildly expensive to the point where you even wonder if it's worth it. But maybe I was too harsh on them. Maybe even though some of these Recruit cards are like 8 or 9 cost. You know, yeah, if you only have a few cards that they really recruit, you're running the risk that you draw them and you're not going to recruit them. But in a 30-card deck, that might not be the case, and I just may have been too harsh on them. I do think that they are way too pricey. I think some of these cards could have been improved by decreasing the price even by one mana or so. And there are very few Recruit cards that I personally look at and say this is worth it. I also think that some Recruit cards should have been Battle Cries versus Death Rattles, because with Death Rattles, I don't think they're worth it, whereas Battle Cries, they would have been amazing. And I think in an effort for Blizzard to introduce a really cool new mechanic, they looked at it, saw the potential that it could be broken, and then just made them almost not worth playing. It's almost this weird example of what happened with Joust in the Grand Tournament. Basically, where Joust is an interesting mechanic, but without winning the Joust, the cards having the Joust mechanic on them just ended up being bad. And given that, Joust would have a chance of backfiring on you most of the time, that just made most Joust cards not worth running. And you pretty much ran Joust cards that were just good by themselves, and just the Joust gave them a bit of an edge. And that's kind of how I feel that Recruit is here. That Recruit is just severely overcosted. It's they kind of slam the cards that they put Recruit on, so that makes it almost not worth running Recruit, even though it could be a cool mechanic, just because there's a potential it could be downright game breaking. So we'll have to see. After seeing everything, I'm not as warm on the Recruit mechanic as I once was. I'm more interested in the other effects. I think all the spellstones were good. I think a handful of weapons were good, but mostly I think there were disappointments. But overall, I think this was a really fun set. I'm actually looking forward to playing this.
When it comes to Kobolds and Catacombs, of course, I'm looking at this from the Dungeons & Dragons side of things. I love that sort of theme, love that sort of game. And it's just like, you know what? I can see where they come from, like, as far as creation and whatnot goes, and I love some of the references that kick back to D&D, of course. As far as the set, as far as cards and stuff goes, there's a couple of the cards I'm going, okay, yeah, I would like to, pull that, but I didn't really have that, I must craft, like, this. I must craft this, as far as, like, the legendary weapons. I feel that a lot of the legendary weapons just kind of fell on their face, and just really aren't that good. And then there were some of the legendary minions where I'm just like, okay, I'm more jazzed and hyped for the epics and everything else below it than I am than a lot of the legendaries. So I look at this set and I'm just like, okay, I want to see where it will lead and really shake up the metagame as far as Hearthstone goes. So let's see where it goes from here. I mean, we've got a whole 4 months to play before the next set, and of course the next rotation. And then with it will come new decks, new things, new ideas, and just, if anything, I'm preparing for my Priest Overlords at this point.
So that's been Kobolds and Catacombs. We hope you enjoyed. Again, if you have thoughts or anything else you want to add, just just mark your thoughts down in the comments below. We will kind of check those out. And remember, you better watch out. You better not cry. You better not pout. And I'm telling you why. Scorp-o-matic's coming to town. We'll see you guys next time.